Chapter 1. All about animals. 1. Slugs have 4 noses. 2. Cats cannot taste sugar. 3. Toucans curl into little balls when they sleep. 4. A beaver's teeth never stop growing, so they gnaw constantly on objects to keep them at a manageable length. 5. The heart of a shrimp is located in its head. 6. Frogs cannot vomit. If one absolutely has to, then it will vomit its entire stomach out. 7. Flamingos are naturally white. Their diet of brine shrimp and algae turns them pink. 8. Anteaters do not have teeth. 9. Elephant is the only animal that cannot jump. 10. Giraffes have no vocal cords. 11. A snail can sleep for 3 years at once. 12. A tarantula spider can survive up to 2 years without food. 13. Ostriches can run faster than horses and male can roar like lions. Extra stroke. A single strand of spider silk is thinner than a human hair, but also 5 times stronger than steel of the same width. Chapter 3. Giant trees. Extra stroke. The Great Banyan, an enormous banyan tree in Acharya Jagdish Chandra Bose Indian Botanic Garden, Kolkata, is the largest banyan tree in the world, with more than 330 meters of circumference. Chapter 4. Amazing plants. The world is full of natural wonders, from stunningly fragrant and attractive flowers to rotten meat smelling and disgusting flowers. Here are some of the most amazing and endangered plants, flowers, trees and forests of the world. Extra stroke. Corpse flower emits a smell like rotting flesh to attract insects and beetles for pollination. It has a tall stalk which contains smaller flowers. The plant can actually heat up the stalk to help spread the smell. Chapter 5. Polar animals. Earth's North Pole and South Pole are very cold regions. They are covered with thick layers of ice. In such climate, only a few animals can survive. Extra stroke. Polar bears have an incredible sense of smell which they use to track their prey. In fact, their sense of smell is so good that they can sniff out prey up to 16 km away. Extra stroke. The Inuit people of the Canadian Arctic call the polar bear Nanook, an animal worthy of great respect. In Russia, the polar bear is called Belai Medved, meaning the white bear, while in Norway and Denmark the polar bear is called Isbjorn, meaning ice bear. Chapter 6. Exotic fruits. We see fruits like mango, apple, banana and guava commonly in the market. But some fruits are very rare and restricted to specific areas. These are known as exotic fruits. These exotic fruits may have very different taste, texture or color. Extra stroke. Fingered citron is also known as Buddha's hand. This fruit has long yellow growths. It is used for religious offerings in Buddhist temples, mainly in China and Japan. Chapter 7. Let's trek. Most of us like to visit hill stations to get a respite from the heat and humidity during summers and to rejuvenate ourselves. Here are some picturesque and highly visited hill stations of India. Chapter 9. Titles of leaders. Here are the honorary titles given to various Indian statesmen during the Indian independence struggle. Chapter 10. Bharat Ratna Awardees. The Bharat Ratna is the highest civilian award of the Republic of India. Instituted in 1954, the award is conferred in recognition of exceptional service or performance of the highest order without distinction of race, occupation, position or gender. 11. Gallantry Awards. Gallantry Awards are presented for exceptional courage, valor and dignity. In India, the Gallantry Awards are given to the personnel of the armed forces for their exceptional bravery. After independence, the three Gallantry Awards, namely the Paramveer Chakra, the Mahavir Chakra and the Veer Chakra, were instituted by the Government of India on 26 January 1950. On 4th January 1952, other three Gallantry Awards, which are now known as Ashok Chakra, Kirti Chakra and Shaurya Chakra, were instituted by the Government of India. Wartime Gallantry Awards. The Paramveer Chakra is India's highest military decoration awarded for displaying distinguished acts of valor during wartime. Paramveer Chakra means Wheel of the Ultimate Brave, and the award is granted for most conspicuous bravery in the presence of the enemy. The Mahavir Chakra is the second highest military decoration in India. It is awarded for acts of conspicuous gallantry in the presence of the enemy, whether on land, at sea or in the air. The Veer Chakra is the third highest military decoration awarded for acts of gallantry in the presence of the enemy, whether on land, at sea or in the air. Peacetime Gallantry Awards. The Ashok Chakra is India's highest peacetime military decoration awarded for valor, courageous action or self-sacrifice away from the battlefield. The Kirti Chakra is India's second highest peacetime military decoration awarded for valor, courageous action or self-sacrifice away from the field of battle. It may be awarded to civilians as well as military personnel. The Shaurya Chakra is India's third highest peacetime military decoration awarded for valor, courageous action or self-sacrifice while not engaged in direct action with the enemy. It may be awarded to civilians as well as military personnel, sometimes posthumously. Extra Stroke. The Victoria Cross (VC) is the highest award of the British Gallantry Honours System. Women social reformers. A few Indian women activists have played a significant role in changing many social evils and have been a shining beacon of hope. Chapter 13. The Art of Fighting. Extra Stroke. Chinese martial arts, often named under the umbrella terms Kung Fu and Wushu, are the several hundred fighting styles that have developed over the centuries in China. Chapter 14. International Dams. A dam is a large barrier to store and control flow of water. A dam helps to produce hydroelectricity, control flood and supply water for irrigation. A dam is an engineering marvel. Chapter 16. Indigenous People. Some people who live very close to nature and a little away from modern civilization are sometimes termed as tribal people. Chapter 18. Travelers to India. India had witnessed the visit of many foreign travelers from different parts of the world. Most of them have recorded their experience about the tradition, culture and lifestyle of Indians of the time. Chapter 19. Prominent Women Rulers. Many great daughters of India ruled several parts of India with exceptional courage, valor and skill. The rulers have become legendary figures in India. 20. Your Highness. A monarch is a person who reigns over a kingdom or an empire. He or she has all law-making power, usually holding such authority by birthright and not by merit. 1. Queen Victoria was the ruler of the United Kingdom for 67 years. During her reign, the British Empire expanded to its zenith, making it the largest empire ever. The United Kingdom flourished under her reign with the Industrial Revolution and colonialism. 2. Peter the Great or Peter I was ruler of the Tsardom of Russia and later the Russian Empire for 42 years. He expanded the Tsardom to a large empire that became a major European power. He had a cultural revolution that replaced some of the traditionalist and medieval social and political systems with ones that were modern, scientific, westernized and based on enlightenment. 3. Frederick II or Frederick the Great ruled Prussia for 46 years. During his reign, the borders of Prussia expanded to encompass West Prussia and Silesia. Under his reign, the infrastructure, military and bureaucratic process of Prussia was greatly improved. 4. Louis XIV reigned France for 72 years, longer than any other European monarch. Under his reign, France became the most powerful country in Europe. Louis ended feudalism in France and modernized the country. During his rule, the military and fine arts flourished. He believed strongly in the divine right of kings. 5. Queen Elizabeth I was Queen of England and Ireland. Elizabeth's reign became known as the Elizabethan era. The period is famous for the flourishing of English drama led by playwrights such as William Shakespeare and Christopher Marlowe. England's defeat of the Spanish Armada in 1588 associated her with one of the greatest military victories in English history. 6. Meiji became the Emperor of Japan at the age of 14 years. When he became emperor, Japan was a primitive and isolated country. By the end of his reign, Japan was an industrial powerhouse. Meiji was a key player in making Japan a major world superpower. 7. Augustus Caesar ruled as the Emperor of Rome for 41 years. During this time, Augustus improved the infrastructure and military of Rome. He also reformed the taxation process. His reign is known as Pax Romana or Roman peace. Extra stroke. Ashoka the Great was the only emperor of the world who left war for peace and non-violence. Genghis Khan, Attila, Firoz Shah Tughlaq, Alauddin Khalji, Balban, Tipu Sultan, Aurangzeb, and Taimur Lang were extremely cruel rulers. They tortured and executed people. Chapter 21. 9 Jewels of Ancient India. King Vikramaditya was a legendary king of Ujjain of ancient India. He has been famed for his wisdom, valor and magnanimity. He assembled a number of scholars known as Ratna or the 9 gems. Amar Simha. Amar Simha was a Sanskrit lexicographer and a poet. His Amar Kosha is the vocabulary of Sanskrit roots, homonyms and synonyms. It has 10,000 words in it. Dhanvantri. Dhanvantri was a great physician. Even today, great doctors are compared or called after his name. Harisena. Harisena is known to have composed the Prayag Prasasti or Allahabad pillar inscription. The whole poem is in one sentence including first 8 stanzas of poetry, a long sentence and a concluding stanza. Kalidasa. The great Kalidasa is an immortal poet and playwright of India. He is a peerless genius. His works has become famous worldwide. He is considered one of top poets of all times. He is considered the Shakespeare of India. Kahapanka. Kahapanka was an astrologer. Not many details about him are found. Sanku. Sanku was in the field of architecture. Varaha Mihira. Varaha Mihira wrote Panch Siddhantika, Brihat Samhita and Brihat Jataka. The Panch Siddhantaka is a summary of 5 early astronomical systems including the Surya Siddhanta. Brihat Jataka is a book on astrology which appears to be considerably influenced by Greek astrology. Vara Ruchi. Vara Ruchi was a grammarian and Sanskrit scholar. Some historians have identified him with Katyayana. Vara Ruchi is said to be the author of Prakrit Prakasha, which is the first grammar of Prakrit language. Vital Bhatta. Vital Bhatta was a magician. '24 Environmental Quiz. We are alive on the earth because of the suitable environment. Therefore, we should protect the environment from degradation. Biodiversity Hotspots. A biodiversity hotspot is a biogeographic region that is both a significant reservoir of biodiversity and is threatened with destruction. Let us learn some of the important biodiversity hotspots of the world. Indo-Burma, located in tropical Asia, this hotspot is the site of 7,000 endemic plant species and many threatened endemic birds, mammals and amphibians, including some of the largest freshwater fishes. It conserves freshwater turtle species. Sunderland, located at the southeastern Asia, it hosts around 10% of the world's flowering plant species, 12% of the world's mammals, 17% of the world's birds, and 25% of the world's fish species. It also has two less known endemic species, Bornean earless monitor and Sarawak monitor. Caribbean Islands, located in the Caribbean Sea, it is an extensive group of islands. These islands support exceptionally diverse ecosystems ranging from montane cloud forests to cactus scrublands. The hotspot has dozens of highly threatened species, including 2 species of giant shrews and the Cuban crocodile. Atlantic Forest, located in the tropical South America, it boasts 20,000 plant species, 40% of which are endemic. More than 24 critically endangered vertebrate species are clinging to survival in the region, including 3 species of lion tamarins and 6 bird species that are restricted to the small patch of forest in northeastern Brazil. Western Ghats. It is a mountain range that runs parallel to western coast of the Indian peninsula. It contains more than 30% of all the plant species found in India. Many animal species found here are endemic, such as the Nilgiri thar and the lion-tailed macaque. About 67% of fish species are endemic to this region. The region has a spectacular assemblage of large mammals, around 30% of the world's Asian elephant population and 17% of the world's existing tigers. Extra stroke. The term biodiversity hotspots was coined by Norman Myers. 26. Sustainable agriculture. Sustainable agriculture is farming in sustainable ways based on an understanding of ecosystem and the study of relationships between organisms and their environment. It does not require chemicals but conserves energy and water, emphasizes local production, decreases inputs and utilizes resources more efficiently on site, values biodiversity and ecology. In a nutshell, it conserves our ecosystem. Extra stroke. Bacillus thuringiensis (BT) is a bacteria that produces proteins which are toxic to caterpillars, so it is commonly used as a biological pesticide. It is a natural way to control plant pests. 7. Book records. There are lots of amazing facts related to books. Let us learn a few of them. In Search of Lost Time by Marcel Proust. It is the longest novel which exists, containing an estimated 96,09,000 characters. This masterpiece made its mark in the Guinness Book of World Records. The most expensive book in the world is the Codex Leicester. In this 72-page long journal, scientific writings by Leonardo da Vinci document ancient findings such as where to locate fossils and why the moon is luminous. It was written single-handedly by himself. It now belongs to Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates. The Harry Potter books are allegedly the most banned books in America due to religious complaints. The first book that was written using the typewriter was The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, 1876. Top 3 most read books in the world are the Holy Bible, quotations from Chairman Mao Zedong, and the Harry Potter series. The first book described as a bestseller was Fools of Nature by the US writer Alice Brown in 1889. The Gutenberg Bible was the earliest major book printed using mass-produced movable metal type, 180 copies of the 1300-paged book were printed. If you publish a book in Norway, the government will buy 1,000 copies, 1,500 if it is a children's book, and distribute them to libraries throughout the country. 9. Phobias. A phobia is a type of anxiety disorder defined by a persistent and excessive fear of an object or situation. The phobia typically results in a rapid onset of fear. Let us learn about some of these phobias. Acrophobia, fear of heights. 2. Arachnophobia, fear of spiders. 3. Ophidiophobia, fear of snakes. 4. Agoraphobia, fear of certain places or situations. 5. Misophobia, fear of germs. 6. Cynophobia, fear of dogs. 7. Claustrophobia, fear of small spaces. 8. Aerophobia, fear of flying. 9. Trypophobia, fear of holes. 10. Glossophobia, fear of public speaking. 11. Monophobia, fear of being alone. 12. Arachnophobia, fear of failure. 13. Trypanophobia, fear of needles. 14. Aquaphobia, fear of water. 15. Autophobia, fear of abandonment. 16. Hemophobia, fear of blood. 17. Somniphobia, fear of sleep. 18. Xenophobia, fear of the unknown. 19. Metathesiophobia, fear of change. 20. Vehophobia, fear of driving. 31. Mythical characters. Some mythical characters are very famous among the readers across the globe. Chapter 33. Jago Grahak Jago. A consumer has 6 basic rights. Everyone should know and follow these to be known as a smart consumer. A. Let us learn the following rights. 1. Right to choose. This right is aimed to provide access to a variety of goods and services at a competitive rate. 2. Right to safety. This right is aimed at the defense of consumers against injuries caused by products. 3. Right to information. A consumer has the right to be informed about the quality, quantity, purity, potency, standard, expiry date, and price of goods. 4. Right to be heard. Consumers have right to be heard and to be assured that his or her interest will receive due consideration at appropriate places. 5. Right to seek redressal. Consumers have the right to seek redressal remedy against unfair trade practices. 6. Right to consumer education. Consumers have the right to be educated on the matter of consumer protection rights. Chapter 34. A better lifestyle. Nowadays, life has become very hectic because of several reasons. In such a hectic and fast life, keeping good health is a challenge. Though it is not entirely impossible, if every day we spend some time for the benefit of our health and do the following things, our health will remain sound. 1. Follow a scheduled timetable for all activities. 2. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. 3. Get daily sun exposure of about 15 minutes a day in the morning. 4. Sleep for at least 8 hours a day. 5. Engage in sports or physical activities multiple times a week. 6. Drink about 8 glasses of water every day. 7. Chew your food well. 8. Do not let the stress get the best of you. 9. Always smile and be light-hearted. 10. Take good care of your body in terms of hygiene. 11. Prefer to be active rather than being a couch potato. 12. Take up yoga daily. 13. Think twice before jumping into an action. 14. Try to be much nearer to nature than getting surrounded with artificial comfort. 5. Yoga for a healthy life. Yoga is a good exercise for body and mind. Do the following yoga asana as instructed. Bridge pose. Step 1. Lie on your back with your knees bent and your feet flat on the ground with your toes pointing straight forward. Step 2. Exhale and pressing your inner feet and arms onto the floor, push your waist upward. Keep your thighs and inner feet parallel. Clasp the hands below your pelvis and extend through the arms to help you stay on the top of your shoulders. Step 3. Lift your waist until the thighs are about parallel to the floor. Keep your knees directly over the heels, but push them forward, away from the hips, and lengthen the tailbone towards the back of the knees. Lift the pubis toward the navel. Step 4. Lift your chin slightly away from the chest and firm the shoulder against your back. Firm the outer arms, broaden the shoulder blades, and try to lift the space between them at the base. Hold for 3 to 5 breaths. Benefits: stretches the spine, chest, shoulders, and hips. Strengthens the back and leg muscles. Calms the mind, aids in digestion, helps awaken the body. 36. Self-reliance. What is the meaning of self-reliance? Self-reliance is reliance on one's own efforts and abilities. The psychology of self-reliance. A reliance on internal resources to provide life with coherence, meaning, and fulfillment. Examples of self-reliance. 1. Thinking independently. The ability to think autonomously goes hand in hand with trusting your own instinct. 2. Embracing your individuality. As a more practical example, we can imagine that Sudhiti has parents who are both lawyers. They want nothing more than Sudhiti to follow in their footsteps. At home, however, Sudhiti is spending every spare minute in writing poetry. She wants to make a difference to the world and touch people's lives through verse. This is where she finds her greatest happiness and decides instead to pursue a career as a poet instead. 3. Striving towards your own goals bravely. In an extension of the above, Sudhiti seeks to take steps toward achieving her own goals of becoming a poet. The importance of having self-reliance. Having self-reliance is important for several reasons. The most obvious being that depending on others for help means there may be times when it is not available. Self-reliance is also important because it means you can solve problems and make decisions by yourself. This is critical as we grow older and learn to live independently. How to develop self-reliance? 1. Accepting yourself and being your own best friend. 2. Inner confidence. 3. Making your own decisions. 4. Recognize and manage dependence. 5. Have your own values. 6. Decide who you want to be and how you want to get there. 39. The game of shuttlecock. Badminton is a racket sport played using rackets to hit a shuttlecock across a net. The most common forms of the game are singles and doubles. Scoring system. 1. A match consists of the best of 3 games of 21 points each. 2. Every time there is a serve, there is a point scored. 3. The side winning a rally adds a point to its score. 4. At 20 all, the side which gains a 2-point lead first wins that game. 5. The side winning a game serves first in the next game. Extra stroke. The game of badminton started to become popular in 18th century in India at a small town called Pune, now Pune. It was played mostly by the British military officers. It was known as battledore and shuttlecock. in British India instead of badminton. Chapter 41, Tokyo Olympics 2020. The Summer Olympics 2020 or Tokyo Olympics 2020 was held from 23rd July to 8th August 2021. More than 200 countries participated in over 500 events across the Olympics. India won a total of 7 medals, scoring 33rd rank in the world. India won 1 gold, 2 silver and 4 bronze medals. Booker Prize Awardees. The Booker Prize is a literary prize awarded each year for the best original novel written in English language and published in the UK. Extra stroke. The Booker Prize initially awarded £5,000 to its winners. The prize money doubled in 1978 to £10,000 and today the winner receives £50,000. Each of the shortlisted authors receives £2,500 and a specially bound edition of their book. Chapter 45, Bollywood and Sports. A classic theme for sports films is the triumph of an individual or team which prevails despite the difficulties and other standard elements of melodrama. Chapter 46, Comedy Show. A comedian is a person who seeks to entertain the audience by making them laugh. This might be through jokes or amusing situations or acting foolish things. Extra stroke. When Einstein met Charlie Chaplin, Chaplin remarked, "The people applaud me because everybody understands me and they applaud you because no one understands you." Chapter 47, Popular Newspapers. Newspaper is a mass media. Even in this digital world, print media, that is newspapers, magazines, etc., are very popular and an important means of information. Chapter 52, Space Exploration. Space is always a mystery to us. Since the time of Greek and Roman civilizations, human beings had tried to decode the space. Extra stroke. NASA's most famous space telescopes are Hubble Space Telescope, Chandra X-ray Observatory, and the Spitzer Space Telescope. These telescopes are very powerful. The farthest that Hubble has seen so far is about 10 to 15 billion light years away. The farthest area looked at is called the Hubble Deep Field. Chapter 57, News Update. In August 2019, erstwhile state Jammu and Kashmir was divided into 2 union territories, Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh. India now has 28 states and 8 union territories. Joe Biden won the presidential elections in the United States and is the current president. Coronavirus disease COVID-19 is a highly communicable disease caused by coronavirus. It started spreading from Wuhan City, China in December 2019. The pandemic resulted in lockdown and immeasurable suffering to millions of people worldwide. On 8th December 2020, London-based Margaret Keenan, a 90-year-old woman, became the first person in the world to receive COVID-19 vaccine shot outside of a trial. India's vaccination drive against COVID-19 began on 16th January 2021. In a short span of 9 months, India achieved the feat of administering 1 billion COVID vaccines on 21st October 2021. President Ram Nath Kovind inaugurated the Narendra Modi Stadium in Ahmedabad, Gujarat on 24th February 2021. It is the largest cricket stadium in the world, having a seating capacity of 110,000 people. India's debt-ridden national airlines Air India has been sold to its original owner Tata. Former Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru nationalized it from J.R.D. Tata, but soon after it lost its glory and suffered huge losses. Tatas have regained the control of Air India and hopefully its fate will turn around now. 58. Crucial revolutions. The word revolution sometimes refers to the overthrow of current system in favor of a new one. but there are some revolutions that are intended to bring a positive change in the field of agriculture, milk production, fish production, etc.